Always does. It always resets the, always resets the game. If you close the game, it shuts the stream off. Because they never let you broadcast your home screen anyway, right? So. Whew, yeah. Trip to the dark side there. You know what's crazy? After I left, I started hearing everyone in the lobby, so it was like it was going to load, but it was stuck on that like between stage, and then once I hit cancel, it like finished the loading, but it's like, oh, I've already hit cancel. So yeah, great game so far, guys. Wow, just insane. So they've had to rebuild the grid, I guess. Am I mixing my pawn? What are you talking about? First of all, I don't know if you're throwing some criticism out about something that I've done, or being confused about something, but there's always pot involved during a stream. It depends on how recently I've smoked it. But, you know, you guys got a song out of this, so don't criticize my perfect mixture of marijuana and wine tonight. Like, I'm on the perfect balance right now that you asked me to sing, and I did it. It's a rare occasion, so you guys need to cherish the rest of this stream, because it's going to be something special, even though it's a complete shit show so far. I've lost. We've got people dropping out of the lobby now? What's going on here? Yeah, also guys, if you're not in the Discord paying attention right now, you do need to start on the tires you qualified on. They set the grid based on that order, and if you start on the like this is something we've done in the past when this has happened. If you start on the tires that you didn't qualify on, other than obviously if you're in the top 10, you have to. If you're outside the top 10, you can pick whatever you want. But if you don't put those tires on and you were in the top 10, you'll just get disqualified. You'll be disqualified from the race. It'll be a big waste of time. So make sure you do that. Make sure you have the correct strategy selected as well, because it's often a mistake. People set it up and then they don't actually select it, and they end up starting on the wrong tire. So make sure you do that so you don't ruin your night. Here we go. Did someone ready up already? Oh, we're just waiting for Maverick, okay. So we don't want to see anyone ready up here. These guys are supposed to be selecting their strategies, getting everything sorted for the race. Nobody's to ready until Buff says. Just given the delay, it's you know, people get trigger happy sometimes. They're just like, all right, let's go. I was ready to race like 10 minutes ago, like, and they just hit go. And lovely thunderstorm in the background. Hope you guys can hear that. Might be a little far. I do have a fan right in front of me, so if you can't hear the fan, you're probably not picking up the thunder. There was one really loud one, maybe on the old stream. I was gonna say, are we bugged again? But I forgot we, yeah, we've rebuilt the lobby, so we're just waiting. It's funny because Canada's one of the shortest races on the calendar. You know, generally goes by quite fast, especially with no safety cars or rain. And it's now become one of the longer broadcasts we've done because of the delay we've had and the bug. Dots on pole, so it's a good day for everyone. I'm gonna have to refill my wine again. It's taking forever. Got the formation and everything still, so. Missed the fell one. I'll be watching that here. I was gonna play Madden actually. I was like, oh, I'll play a couple games of Madden after the race, and then I was like, wait a second, there's actually a football game on. I should be watching that. Yeah, oh yeah. Geez, storming. Oh, wait, there's a very good chance we might lose the stream here. If the storm doesn't mosey on out of here soon, because I had a couple. I gotta say, like the lightning last night. There was some severe lightning, or maybe it was the night before. But there was some really severe lightning, and it flicked the power in the house like every time for like 3 or 4 times. Just tripped the power, so obviously that resets the internet. You know, it'd be 5-6 minutes before I got back in here. All right, formation lap. Looks like everybody's in the right spot. Crazy storms. Yeah, we're back live. Obviously, we had a little bit of a delay if you're just joining us. We had a glitch at the end of qualifying, so we had to back out and reset the lobby. So part 1 of the stream is processing right now. This is part 2. We've only been live for a few minutes, but we are getting the race underway now. So we got Mr. Dothal Hoist on pole position. Cobalt takes P2. Hayden is P3. Gibbon P4. Maverick P5. Packer P6. Scabney down in 7th. Could do some damage from there. He definitely had better pace than that. Porchy Dude 8. Bushy Baboon takes P9. So good result for Bushy Baboon. Starting in the top 10. T-Money is in 10th. Jinnit 11th. Joshua 12th. Puff Digital down to 13th. That's a rough start for Puff Digital at the home race. The Puff fans going to be in shambles here. I'll show you the Puff grandstand in just a moment. He's making his way there. Looks like he had some kind of spin on the aforementioned lap. An homage to his teammate Fuzz. And there it is. On your left-hand side, as we round the hairpin, the Puff Digital grandstand. In shambles after their man starting P13 here. After the first 2 races of the season, looked like he was going to be a top 5 driver. And suddenly, he's had a rough few outings. Storylines are all here. The grid's all here. 17 drivers lining up in Montreal. The Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. This is round 5 of Tier 1. This is Zenith Online Racing Season 6. I'm Arbega. Doth is on pole. All the cars are stopped. Let's get this thing fired up. So here for lights, Doth pointing his wheels to the right. We have 4, 5 lights on. And they're off. Doth moving over already to cover that line. Cobalt looks like he got a really good launch. He did. Is he going to go into the lead here? Doth covering that inside, and they bump wheels. Oh, Cobalt did not leave enough space there. Doth on the outside looking for some grip. Can he find it? Is he going to have to yield to P1 here? Looks like he's going to have to, yeah. So Doth loses the lead on turn 1. I think Cobalt bumped wheels there. Looked like he turned into Doth more so than Doth turned into him, but nice job. And Cobalt getting to the lead there, and there's another squeeze. Gibbon just closing the door on Packer there. Packer got out of that smartly. Lives to fight another day. Here comes his teammate Maverick all over the back. And a Portuguese hanging on to the back of him. So, interesting start to the race. We've got a few guys in jumping positions here. Check those tires. Nope, that's not it. We want the interval, and then we want this on tires. There we go. T-Money starting on the softs. So Jinnit, everybody on the mediums and hards has dropped down P12 all the way down to the back of the field. Looks like Hayden making a move here on Doth. So Doth lost out to the one LGN driver. And now he's got Hayden all over him, but Doth gets a really nice exit out of the final turn there. And it looks like he's going to close in on Cobalt here. So Doth using a little bit of juice, trying to scoot himself closer to the front. And Hayden trying to hang on. Gibbon really under pressure here from Packer. Here comes Packer. Really tough to overtake at this track other than that one straight. So we could see some issues for guys getting stuck behind other cars, and they're necessarily slower, but they just can't get by. Battery management, DRS and whatnot is going to be really important here. Packer all over the back of Gibbon. We could see some moves in some unusual places as well once the tires start to drift apart and some guys have advantages and whatnot. Here comes Packer down the inside into the hairpin. Is he going to get it done? He's still there. He's been left space and gets a really good exit out of that hairpin. Now they're wheel to wheel as we head down the back straight. Packer and Gibbon very close to one another. Packer looks like he's just got a little more drag on the car. He's had to drop back behind, and he's not going to be able to get by. So it looks like he's got a little more downforce, and he'll be a threat in these corners. But a really good exit out of the final turn. And here comes Packer down the inside into turn one and gets it done. Smooth as butter. Packer through. So Gibbon having to yield that. Packer finding his feet early in the Grand Prix. He's going to go up there and start challenging that top three. Good to see early. Jinnit on the medium starting to find his pace now, putting some pressure on T-Money ahead. You see Jinnit all over T-Money here. He's probably going to get by in this corner. He's going to send it. Absolutely, he's going to send it. Leading the championship. Probably doesn't want to take too many risks like that, but you know, he can afford to just score a nice chunk of points today. He doesn't have to do anything desperate. The guys that are really a threat to him are Maverick and Packer, and neither of them are at the front yet. So I would say Jinnit can be a little more patient. He doesn't need to do anything desperate. He just take his opportunities as they come, and there's no need for a lunge or anything along those lines, in my opinion. He's got a really handy lead in the championship, and to crash here would put him in a really bad spot. So I think 10, 15 points he'd be happy with if he can do that. And given his strategy right now, I think he can pull that off. Doesn't need to do anything to compromise that. He's got the right strat going. So we'll check back in on Jinnit in a little while. Get back to Maverick and Gibbon. Yeah, you think so, eh? You think Doth's going to win it? Doth could definitely go for an undercut now because he's the behind car. It was a similar something I was saying that Cobalt could go for in P2, maybe the undercut, but now Doth is in a position to possibly do that. The undercut here, I think, would be pretty powerful if they can get the gaps built. See Gibbon making that move on Packer, just peeking out, but there's nothing doing for him. Maverick will get the rear wing shot, but Fortitude's a little far for that. T-Money and Jinnit closing up to fusions as well. So T-Money's really not slowing Jinnit down. Oh, we got a bit of a moment here for Hayden and Doth. What happened there? Did Doth have a bit of a moment? Hayden's got a penalty. They're wheel to wheel through the wall. Oh, man. I think Doth had to cut that corner. I don't think he had much of a choice, though. There was no room there. So Doth's picked up a penalty that he could very well appeal, but the odds of him getting through the entire race without another warning pretty slim, I feel. We got a penalty for Hayden, though, so that will give Doth some solace. Though not in regards to Cobalt, but now they've got the two Alfa Romeos in front, and it's going to really compromise Doth's strategy here. Not sure what he's going to do. Maybe pit early, try to jump them both would be a good call, but it's hard to justify that this early. Gibbon. Actually, I mean, these tires do fall off pretty quick here, don't they? Maybe it's worth it. Packer into the wall. The back tire hits the wall, and Gibbon's got a really good chance here after Packer looked like he found his pace and was going to get through, leaving lots of space there, and there goes Packer on the inside with a lot more grip once again. You see Packer makes his way through. Let's get to the back of the field. Oh, we do have Maverick and Gibbon quite close. Let's check in on this. Gibbon with the DRS looking to go through, and he does. Packer into the pits, so that's why Maverick didn't go for it. He knew Packer was pitting. Doth has not pit. Maybe wants to. Consider trying to cover off Packer, I would think. If Packer gets a couple laps on first tires, he could leap towards these guys. But Doth at this point is hanging on to Hayden, so I mean, really, with the penalties, Hayden's his main guy right now. If Cobalt picks one up, then suddenly he can look at an undercut again. But at this point, he's got one more penalty than Cobalt does, and needs to really just think about racing Hayden, I think, for this stage of the Grand Prix. Getting a little further down, we got Puff. He's into the points, bringing his teammate Fuzz along. Just giving him a little bit of a tow, but Fuzz under some pressure from Scabney. Must have had some kind of incident on the first lap because he is down in P12 here. He's all over the back of Fuzz. Looks like he's going to make his way through. And around the outside, there goes Scabney. Oh, a little bit of contact. Not quite. I think they left each other enough room there, but Fuzz just had to get out of it a little bit. Puff Digital. Oh, here comes Doth. Down the main straight. Back in front of Hayden, so suddenly changes the scope of things. He's got he's split the teammates up, and Hayden really not playing that block and roll anymore. So Doth can actually just close up on Cobalt and maybe take a stab at going for an undercut here, and then appeal that penalty. And Cobalt might pick one up or two. Who knows? Got a ghosted car here, number 2. That's got to be back, way back. Trying to unlap himself, it looks like. So back, looks like he might have the pace to unlap himself. He's probably going to go for it. Surely be a thorn in Hayden's side at this stage. But I think he might get a double slipstream here because of Beck. I think it treats it as if the car is there, but you just don't make contact. No, he is falling away. So Hayden seems to be struggling with the top line, the top straight line speed. And Maverick looking to pounce on Gibbon here. So Gibbon generally been one of the quickest drivers out there, and it looks like Maverick's actually got him beat on pace. So Maverick makes his way through and can build a cushion. Then Gibbon's going to be looking at P5 potentially here, and he's been fighting for podiums most weeks, so be a little disappointed with that, I feel. Bonk has pit. Packer has pit for mediums. Fusions. Jinnit. So Jinnit. Oh, Beck is out! And he's taking someone with him. Who's gone with him there? That was a Alfa Romeo, or someone's gone round back there. Safety car, of course. So that's going to allow the top 7 drivers on softs to pit. I would think everyone needs to pit, really. I would think... Are we going to go to the hards, perhaps? I don't know. Fuzz should stay out, and Puff should pit. And then Fuzz can kind of sit there and hold the field up. Because Fuzz on hards doesn't need to pit. Neither does Baboon. And well, there's a good chance these guys in the front, though, are going to get out back in front of that pack back there anyways. So Cobalt pits. See what tires everybody goes to. Doth obviously pits as well. Mediums for Cobalt. Doth is gone to mediums. Gibbon, yeah, really, he's going to mediums. Anybody didn't pit. Puff stayed out. So Puff's taking the lead of the race for now. So Puff's out there. Fuzz stayed out as well, but they've been split by Doth and Cobalt. So interesting strategy from the Red Bull drivers. They're going to stay out. Maybe bank on another safety car. So Beck the only one DNF, but he did take someone with him, and I assume that was Hayden? Because Hayden was up there racing with the top 2, but Beck was ghosted, I think. So how did he take Hayden with him? Unless Hayden just made a mistake on his own, or was distracted and reacted, didn't need to type thing. And I mean, that's why the ghosting is a bit of an issue for that reason, because if there wasn't ghosting, Beck wouldn't be trying to unlap himself so egregiously where he's in between cars and whatnot, right? Not to say that Beck was doing anything wrong, but just, you know, theorizing here. But Beck, you know, goes and distracts the driver who's trying to focus on the battle in front of him, but he's got a ghost car there, and that can be the problem with the ghost cars. Whereas if there was a real car there and he's a lapped car, he's not going to be sitting directly in front of that guy because he's going to be getting penalties, right? So hard to say. I'm not really too sure how Hayden was collected in that or involved in that, but we got Beck out and we got Puff in the lead, and we got a 5-second penalty for Jinnit for colliding with Bonk My Donk when a Bonk is behind him. So I would wager that that means Bonk has had some kind of issue and gone into the back of Jinnit. Jinnit has not picked up the penalty, I believe. I think that they did say they fixed that finally, and it seems to have been working because last week we saw the same thing. Someone had rear-ended another driver and picked up a penalty, but the other guy didn't get one. And it's something we can deal with external stewarding, but definitely a nuisance nonetheless. If the safety car doesn't come in this lap, I'm going to the washroom. But I would think it's coming in because the entire field's bunched up, and it's a pretty short lap here too in Canada, so 2 laps to clear the damage and we'll get back to it. Puff out front. Not really sure how this is going to play out for the Red Bull guys. They're just probably Puff and Fuzz are thinking, let's get away from all the carnage and the other drivers and just cruise along, and we get ourselves another safety car and we're good to go. Baboon, unfortunately, still out on his old hards and hasn't gained anything, so he's stuck down in last still. So must have been way behind the field there where pitting, I mean, if he's gonna be, I don't know. I mean, if you're last already, just pit and get fresh tires, I would think, right? Like, I know you're on the hards, but they're 7 laps old already. Like, it just doesn't seem worth it when you're already last. I could see why Fuzz and Puff stayed out. I mean, that makes perfect sense, but... So Puff going to get things going again. He punches it now. We're going to head into the Wall of Champions. And Cobalt got a really good restart as well. He hung right with Puff. So Puff leading the Canadian Grand Prix. The Puff Digital Grandstand is going absolutely bonkers. And here comes Cobalt all over him on the fresh mediums, looking to pounce early. And Doth cannot afford to get stuck behind Puff. Cobalt's through already. So Puff thinking maybe not fight these guys and just coast along, pick up the DRS, get away from the rest of the field, and then maybe get a cheap pit stop later. So Puff didn't look like he was really willing to fight that too hard. I'm sure he's going to let Doth through just on camaraderie as well. He's not going to hold Doth up. There's no point. Him and Fuzz can just sit and run in clear air once they let these guys through. So here comes Doth, peeking down the inside. At the moment, it doesn't seem Puff needs to move over or anything. Doth is right there, and Puff's not really costing him time. We got a yellow flag. Sector 3. Looks like someone maybe spinning in the hairpin. It looks like Hayden has spun. But yeah, for the moment, Puff is getting away from the rest of the field there. Porchy Dude in 4th has got by Fuzz, but Fuzz really a wedge in the chain. Oh no! Doth has gone into the back of Puff. But Fuzz really a wedge in the field right now. He's just allowing Puff to get away. The rest of the field's just stuck there, scrapping with Fuzz. We see Maverick's made his way through. And now Gibbon going for it as well. Gibbon all over the back of Fuzz here. Going down the inside. Those old hards just are not holding up. Gibbon is through, so this strategy looks like it's not working. If they were looking to use Fuzz to hold up the field, they've got through quite quickly, and now Puff's going to be under threat fast, so I think Doth's going to get him here on the exit of the hairpin for sure. Doth might have got away with that wing bump. He did run directly into the tire, so maybe didn't take any damage, but definitely looks quicker here, and he's going to go to the outside. I think Puff's just going to tuck in here. I don't think Puff will fight that too much now. But Doth has some work to do now. He's got to go chase down Cobalt's out in front, who's got a few seconds gap at the moment. Oh, Jesus. My cat, he looks so adorable right now. He's just sleeping on the carpet. He was afraid of the storm, so he got down from up high. And I'll take a picture and post that in the Discord. I woke him up. Too late. I ruined it. There will be no picture of the cat in the Discord. Alright, so Puff. We're riding on board with him. I should have gone to the broadcast view while I was taking photos of my cat. Puff is under threat from Porchy Dude already, and he's got Maverick and Gibbon right on his tail. Man, this bug. Actually, next time we don't have a battle going on, I'm gonna... Oh, we got a VSC here, actually. Does Puff consider pitting here? Maybe Fuzz? No, Puff should pit. Puff stays out. Porchy Dude pits, though. What on earth? And it just came green again. Oh, no, Porchy Dude. Not the greatest decision there. That's allowed Puff to get away a little bit, so I'm going to go to... Just wanted to go to the menu real quick to try and reset that engine bug a little bit. It does seem to help. Seems the further you are from me IRL, the worse your engine bug is. Audio glitching as this game is horrendous. Scabney is really putting some pressure on here. Right on the back of Joshua. He's got Fusions, his teammate, right behind as well, so he wants to make quick work of these guys to help his teammate get through. And there's a little bit of contact there. Looked like the wing just nudging the gearbox. Here comes Fusions. He's going to get by Scabney. I would say that he wouldn't fight his teammate, but they have been scrapping this season quite a bit. Here comes Puff on, or Maverick on Puff here. Sails by, so Puff just looking to build himself a nice gap through a pit, I guess. And at this stage, he really doesn't have a huge cushion to anybody, so I don't think it's particularly working. Joshua's out. That's another safety car. It is a safety car, yes. Bonk. There he is. Through the wall of champions. There goes Mr. Joshua. And aptly named corner because the man is a former champion himself. And he's out of the Canadian Grand Prix. That's it. So safety car. This is going to benefit. I mean, Jinnit and Packer both just pit. There's no need for them to pit again. Really, it's not going to benefit anybody back here. Sorry, it's not going to benefit anybody at the front because everyone will be considering pitting. I think Puff would want to pit. Puff and Fuzz probably want to... Fuzz is kind of in a not great spot. But Fuzz could probably get mediums to the end of the Grand Prix from here. Puff, I think, needs to pit to the hards. There's no guarantee there's going to be another safety car, but I would think on 14-lap old mediums, you got to come in now. Everybody's going in anyway, so yeah, surely Puff pits. If everyone goes in, then Puff doesn't really lose much, does he? Fuzz following him in, and he's going to get held up a little bit, but Puff's going to get the preferential treatment here. Puff out. Looks like he got ahead of Gibbon. Or was he already ahead of Gibbon? I can't remember. Yeah, this worked out nicely for Puff. He's gone for the softs. So Puff looking like he's probably going to pit again. And he does get out in front of Porchy Dude, but not ahead of Bonk. So Bonk and Scabney are on older tires. But otherwise, Puff's in the top 5 now on pit stops. Maybe even technically 4th. Alright, we got the cat photo, guys. He went back to sleep in the exact same spot, so we got it. I'm just going to run to the washroom real quick while we're under safety car here. Well, hold up here. Why on earth did Puff pit? Did he hit his wing or something during the break? Oh no. What did he do? He hit his wing, didn't he? Because he was sitting in a great... Oh no, did he not mean to pit to softs maybe? Maybe he was thinking, what's the point of being on softs? Yeah, I think he made a mistake there. That's really unfortunate because he was in a good spot. I think he should have just stayed on the softs, to be honest. Maverick's on softs as well. You know, get another safety car, and suddenly the softs might be a great call. You never know. You should just stuck with it, I think. Everybody else is pretty much ahead of him now on the fresh mediums, so... Scabney leads the field, and he's going to get us racing again. And there he goes. He's punched it. Cobalt with another good restart. He's following that leader well. Almost fresh mediums. He's going to make quick work of Scabney here. He might even get him on the first corner here. No, he can't quite get there yet. So Cobalt's going to have to wait a minute. There he goes. Sitting on that right side pod right now. Great shot as we enter turn 3 and 4. Through 5 and 6. Down to this nice little chicane. It's the Senna S, this one. And then we head towards the hairpin where Scabney looks like he is just eking out just enough pace to stay in front for the moment. I'm not sure Cobalt's going to get through without DRS. Although he does get a really good exit. Yeah, I think Cobalt's going to get him here. He's got a really nice slipstream and should make quick work of the McLaren driver. Heading to that outside line, and looks like he's already got the place as we enter the final turn through the wall of champions. What a great shot. The broadcast view here is just fantastic. So Doth has a little bit of work to do if he wants to get back up there and chase Cobalt. See if Scabney poses a bigger issue than Puff did. Comes Fuzz, too, taking a peek at Fusions, it looks like. Going to that outside line, there's nothing really there for him, and Fuzz thrown off the racing line there and just... had to lift a little bit to try and collect the car rather than risk losing it, so. Fusion, good job defending there. Looks like Jennett squeaked by as well. We got somebody out. Somebody's made a mistake. It's Bonk, it looks like. Bonk is going to get it sorted out, I believe. Yeah, he's getting it turned around, so Bonk My Donk gets going again, but... Yeah, the yellow flags there you see for that spin. comes Doth on Scavney. Doth gets by here. Yeah, Cobalt's going to be really under pressure. And Doth did not get the exit he needed there. In fact, Maverick's actually putting him under pressure now. So Doth really needs to find that next level if he wants to go win this Grand Prix tonight. Because he's got Maverick pressuring him on the softs, and he cannot afford to get stuck behind Maverick too. He needs to get by Scavney now and go start chasing down Cobalt. Hopefully Gibbon can get in amongst it and slow Maverick down a little bit, free up Doth, but right now Maverick is really putting the pressure on. Got Zenith, Fusions, Packer all super close together as well back there. Let's check in with that quickly. Looks like it's all clean for now. Nothing really happening at the moment. Doth, this is really important this lap. He's got the DRS now. He has to get by here. Hopefully Maverick doesn't get through as well for Doth, but Maverick looks like he will. He's going to the outside line here. He has to tuck in. Scavney holds him. So that'll give Doth a little bit of breathing space now. Maverick into turn one. Can he get it done? And he does. There goes Maverick. So Maverick through, and Gibbon trying to get through as well. Maverick will want to see Gibbon get stuck through sector 1 and 2. Doth now free. Oop, I don't think he slid a little bit there, but I think that was just a visual thing. So Doth is out of Maverick's DRS, and he's closing on Cobalt. So I think Doth actually genuinely has the pace here. Check out the penalty situation because it is important. Doth has 6, Cobalt has 3, but Doth could appeal potentially the early warning he got if it matters. So we'll have to see how that pans out at the end of the Grand Prix, but for now Doth is behind on penalties. Maverick with none actually is technically the leader of this Grand Prix right now. That's interesting to point out, although he is on the soft tire, which I have to admit is probably not a great tire with this many laps to go, but if there's another safety car, Maverick will put himself in a good spot. I think the other guys, if they pit again, are going to be on used mediums, whereas Maverick might have a brand new set. Got a nice scrap going on back here. Portudude, Fusions, and Packer. There's Fusions as well. Trying to make a move. Oh, a little bit of a snap there for Fusions. And here comes Packer down the inside. They're wheel to wheel. Very tricky place for an overtake, but there's some of the finest drivers in ZOR, so I expect these guys to go wheel to wheel in these unusual corners and come out clean. And so far, most guys doing a great job of that. A few DNFs tonight. Not too sure if there was contact between those guys or not, but for the most part, everybody keeping it together, and a lot of guys going wheel to wheel here tonight and keeping it clean. So here comes Fusions. Oh, a little bit of a bump there. But Fusions, good exit out of the hairpin. Portudude gets on the power a little bit sooner. We got Gibbon and Scavney. Gibbon gets through, so Scavney loses that place. Here comes Packer back in front of Fusions. And he's on the tail of Portudude and T-Money now. Here comes Packer down the inside into turn 1. And now he has the outside line. Oh, he squeezes that just perfectly and gets that place. Portudude had to lift just to be safe, but Packer technically left him just enough space, and really brilliant car positioning there from Packer. Great overtake. Oh, Portudude! Portudude's had a huge moment. He's gone ping-pong off the walls there. Pinball off the walls, I should say. And he's out of the session. Says he has retired now. I don't... Did he DNF from the impact, or did he just retire? Yeah, he's DNF from impact, it looks like. So, Portudude out. Oh, safety car. We're going green again. So that's it. We're back to racing. And we got Doth in the DRS range, but Maverick on those soft tires is putting Doth under pressure here, I mean, if you're Doth, do you really want to fight this too hard? The guy, he has you on penalties, and he's not on the right tire to finish the Grand Prix. There's really no point in pushing your luck here, right? But you don't want to be losing time. Well, it might benefit Doth. He could pick up a slipstream here. So I'm not saying Doth's going to move over or anything, but if Maverick has a shot, I think he might just let him go. Given a bit of a bigger problem behind, as he is on the same strategy. I don't think Doth would ever just let people through on purpose, but strategy-wise, there's no point in losing time to Cobalt if your Maverick's putting you in a spot where you got to fight him. Not sure it's worth it. Oh, we've got a spinner. Scavney has had a mistake there, and he's sliding down the order here. Puff up into P9 now. Scavney down to P10. That's not good for Scavney, who's having a pretty strong race at the front there. He's maybe gone a little too long on those tires and losing some grip and feeling like he had to push a little bit. And yeah, unfortunately makes a mistake. So look at that, Fusion's all over the back of T-Money. Heading down that inside line and into turn one. Does he have it? He does. Fusions is through. Fuzz looks like he's just made a... Oh yeah, Scavney's pit. That's why. Doth has gotten into the DRS range of Cobalt, so Doth didn't want to rely on Maverick to do the dirty work. He's decided to put this on his own shoulders and go race. And he's dropping Maverick a little bit, and he is gaining on Cobalt, so Cobalt's got something to think about here now. Does he have the... Has he been preserving his tires? Can he push? It's tough to say. But Doth just losing touch, but Maverick in DRS. So Maverick does DRS. Beginning on Doth. Doth is getting closer under slipstream. But Cobalt, you know, Doth might have timed this right. He is closing quite quickly here. So is Cobalt maybe struggling with the tires a little bit? Doth really reeling him in. Maverick's tires are going to start to fall off soon, so what Maverick has done is built himself a nice little gap to pit into if he wants to, and he can stay in the points if he does that, but nope, he's touched the wall there. Has he picked up damage? Yeah, he's starting to lose time a little bit here, and Doth is hanging with Cobalt. Doth could very well get DRS down the back straight here and potentially into turn one have a run. Maverick, I think he's starting to lose grip here, and he's going to be in trouble. I don't think he's going to make it to the end of the Grand Prix, so he's got to make a decision here to either pit now and get the most out of his next set, or just hang on for dear life and hope for a safety car, because he does have some time behind him that he could maybe just think about preserving the softs to get to the end. Doesn't necessarily have to push and use up all the tire. It's a damn miracle that this stream hasn't gone down, because the thunderstorm out there is something else tonight. You just heard that rumble. Wow. Massive flash of lightning there and a huge crash of thunder. I'm shocked we're still here. Doth, though, doing a really good job to put the pressure on here. Given also put some pressure on Maverick now, who is starting to lose touch. So Maverick, he's got about 9 laps to go here. He's got a really tough choice to make here. Does he think another set of softs is the right way? Does he want to hold out for a safety car? Can he get to the end? I don't think so. I think the guys in the mediums are going to be struggling towards the end. Lot to think about here. Lot to play for still as well. Oh, big snap there from Baboon. You saw behind Fusions on that curbing, and he just fighting the car to keep it on the road. Maverick's pit, so Maverick decides to dive into the pits. I think that was a good decision. If he gets a safety car here, he'll be in a great spot anyways, so Maybe just trying to build that gap to the cars further back. Fresh set of mediums he's gone for. He could have gone softs, but maybe he didn't have a fresh set. Doth really is putting that pressure on now. How are the penalties looking? We got 3 for Cobalt, 6 for Doth. So, depending on appeals, Cobalt picks up another one. We could be heads up racing here. I'll have to see how this shakes out. But Doth looks like he's got the pace at the moment. He's very close. If he bides his time here and uses his energy at the right time down the back straight, he could very well get this done. I think Doth is on for an overtake here. 7 laps to go. Can he build the gap he needs to cover that penalty? Or, oh, he's made a big mistake there into the hairpin. He's locked up quite heavily. That's going to hurt him dearly, but he's going to keep that DRS. And maybe have a crack at this into turn 1. We do see harvesting from Cobalt, so he seems to be struggling with his battery a little bit. Yeah, I think he is, yeah. So, Cobalt using up the battery to try and fight Doth, and Doth doing a little bit better of a job managing that. But Doth doesn't want to sit behind Cobalt for much longer. He needs to get through soon if he wants to try and cover that penalty. There's, of course, always the potential for an appeal and a removal, and then that would put them on even terms, but he is still technically, he is still behind at this point, so he needs to actually make the move to possibly look at the win here. Nice little scrap here for P5. Got Baboon putting some pressure on T-Money, and Fusion's hanging on. Let's get back to the front here and see if Doth seems to just be struggling on the brakes in that hairpin. Seems to be losing a couple tenths there every time. And it's not the type of, not the part of the track you really want to be losing out on the guy in front. Because if you're going to make a move, this is the place to do it. This is close. Doth is as close as he's been. Cobalt harvesting. Doth is going to go for this. Around the outside. Wheel to wheel. Can Doth get it done? On the traction. They are still wheel to wheel. There's a little bit of a bump there. Cobalt trying to squeeze Doth and force him to lift, but Doth will not back out of that, and Cobalt just hangs on. That's as close as we've seen it. Fusion's another penalty. He's just racking them up tonight. 18 seconds so far. Oh man, that's rough. We'll go back to the tires to save people the embarrassment, but we do want to keep an eye on those penalties from Doth and Cobalt. See, the thing is, Cobalt used up all his juice defending there. Doth nearly into the back of Cobalt, but he probably got on the throttle a little bit sooner because he went so deep. So this could be okay for Doth heading into turn 1. I think Doth is trying to make sure he makes his moves into turn 1. Seems like the place he's closest. You hear the thunder roaring in the background as his cars whiz past us. Oh, this is going to be tight again. For the lead into turn 1, Doth not quite close enough. He's just going to want to sit back and harvest a little bit here to try and challenge towards the end. Gibbon just starting to chip away at those two out front as well. Fusion's his pit. Puff and Maverick promoted. So Maverick on the fresh tires has made his way by Puff and Fuzz. Apologies to him. We've missed those overtakes trying to watch this battle out front. Here comes Doth with the DRS again. Is he harvesting enough through this portion of the lap? You see Cobalt's got his battery off. I haven't seen any harvesting. And we don't see that outright pace. Cobalt's in big trouble here. Doth lifts early. Oh, he's going to get a really good exit out of this hairpin here. This might be exactly what Doth needs. He's just close on this part of the track. And he's closing very quick on Cobalt. He's surely not going to go for it here. Is he going to go for it here? Around the outside. No, he tucks in. He's going for that nice switchback. Oh, man, what a launch out of the wall of champions for Doth. And this race lead here out in front. He's not going to leave nearly as much space this time. Doth down that inside, the grip. Oh, you see just a bit of contact there. So Doth just couldn't quite get on the power. His early as he wanted, and Cobalt did a brilliant job defending that, and Doss picked up another penalty. So his hopes of winning this Grand Prix on penalty is pretty much out the door now. Cobalt needs to pick up another. Oh, no, Doth out! Oh my lord! Doth has lost it and gone out of the Grand Prix, just feeling that desperation with that final penalty. We have a safety car to end things. I mean, really, the Grand Prix is over. I don't imagine anyone pits here. There's really no benefit to pitting. How unfortunate for Doth. That was a brilliant drive he was pulling off. He would have been quite happy with P2, I feel, even though he felt he had the pace for the win. And that third penalty he picked up, I think, just made him feel a little desperate, and he punched the gas on the curb there and put himself in the wall. It was just heartbreak for Doth. You know, 3 laps from the end, too. It's just, that's got to sting. That's really got to sting. So I don't think anyone will pit. I mean, this is pretty much a parade to the end. There won't be any DRS, so even if you think you've got the guy on outright pace, you're not going to get the advantage you want to try and get it done. Maverick, you know, Maverick doesn't have any penalties here. And he's P5. And depending on what happens here, Maverick could win this Grand Prix. If he can make an overtake on T-Money and Packer, the penalties alone should give him Gibbon and Cobalt. Packer could win this Grand Prix. Or sorry, Maverick could win this Grand Prix. My apologies. Packer could too. Packer could as well, to be fair. Let's get back to the tire life. Are we going to get in this lap on the safety car? Who hit the wall on pit exit? Safety car in this lap, yeah? I think I said so, yeah. So, Cobalt's going to get it going. We're going to have 2 racing laps left in this Grand Prix. Maverick in a really good spot to potentially win this thing. And I think Cobalt's gone too early here. Yeah, he sped up and slowed down again, has he not? So, I don't know about that. That could be a penalty. That could be a penalty for Cobalt. That was a bit of a clumsy restart there. We'll see. Maverick's made it by T-Money. And Maverick in a very good spot to win this Grand Prix if he can get by another car or two. This is it. This is the scrap for the win. Let's check on those penalties quickly. We got 3 seconds for everyone except for Maverick. So Maverick currently in the net lead of this Grand Prix. He's going to be absolutely elated if he pulls this thing off. Cobalt scampering away out front, but again, there's a question on that restart. Did he stop? Did he slow down after he went? He could very well face a big penalty for that. It's going to be up to the stewards to decide. I'm sure it'll be looked at regardless. Here comes Packer down the inside. So is Packer on form here for potentially another win? But no, Gibbon with a really good exit defends that for the time being. And we've got Packer and Maverick right on the tail now. Packer just doesn't seem to have that outright top speed to get it done. Something we saw early in the Grand Prix, and it looks like it's still a thing now. Maverick, I think, trying to ask if he can be let through here. He doesn't want to do anything desperate, but probably feeling a little frustrated that he's got the fresh tires. And like Maverick did get through. My apologies there. I think Packer did actually let Maverick go, so that Maverick could go fight for the win here. So classy move from Packer there. I didn't even realize they swapped places. Really classy stuff there from Maverick and Packer. So brilliant drive from Maverick so far. No penalties. Packer does his job to let him through. Knows he's got the fresh tires, and right now Maverick's going to win this Grand Prix. He doesn't need to do anything desperate here. Just hang on to these two. There's no way Cobalt's going to gain 2 seconds on this last straight here. So I think Maverick is going to be your race winner. Got Cobalt out in P1 currently. Gibbon just behind. Is Maverick going to go for a move here? No, I think he's shut the battery off. He just wants to bring this home now. It'd be silly to go for a move here when you've got a win in the bag. And Maverick just going to bring it home on that final turn. That is it. Cobalt crosses the line, and first Gibbon goes to P2, but Maverick is going to win it on penalties. So Maverick wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Brilliant drive for Maverick. Cobalt in P2, Gibbons P3, and Packer is P4. Brilliant stuff there. Great teamwork from Packer. Gives that victory. Maverick's got to be absolutely pumped with that. His roommate will be extremely upset with the celebrations tonight, but he'll get over it. Fuzz picks up a nice P5 there. Great job from Fuzz. Let's get these guys in for a quick interview. It's almost 9:30 with the delays, so I don't want to hold this up too much. There he is on top, Maverick. And then we got Cobalt. And who was third place? Was it Packer? Oh no, it was Gibbon. Alright, let's get these guys in for an interview. I'm not even in a party. Okay, hang on. Let's get this going now. Actually, you know what? Gotta get the race results before we do anything. So Maverick, Cobalt, Gibbon, Packer, Fuzz, T-Money, Puff, Scavney, T-Money. We did down to Fuzz to P5, so T-Money takes P6, Puff, P7, another few points for him. The Puff Digital Grandstand satisfied. Money well spent. Scavney takes P8, Jinnit P9, so a little bit of an odd weekend for Jinnit. Great at Canada, maybe he decided to drop some assists or something, or just never quite got it together tonight, stuck in the traffic. Baboon, P10. I hope we got the rest of the field in there. Anyway, let's get this interview going. We're going to make this nice and quick because it's almost 9:30 already. All right, well, the band's here. Might as well get this thing rolling. Maverick, brilliant drive. Obviously, that safety car at the end gave you a huge advantage. The fact you didn't have any penalties, you were able to sort of just sit there and make sure you were in the right spot to take the Grand Prix victory. Ran a really good race, had that pace. You were challenging that top three throughout the night. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. I think you're probably feeling a little grateful for the safety car at the end, just giving you that extra bit to get the victory. You were on for some good points regardless, but now you've got a race win in the bag in Tier 1. How's that feeling?
Um, honestly, it feels better than any of the wins that I had in Tier 2. Just, I mean, the level of competition in Tier 1 obviously is so much better than Tier 2. And, after the season I had last season, or, the bad season I had last season, and then, not scoring, more than 50 points, and then finally doing decent here, it's definitely, it's a bit of relief, and it's a bit of like weight off my shoulders, that I can just kind of relax and say that I finally won in Tier 1, and that was one of my goals this season. But yeah, the safety car helped me. I kind of wish it didn't have to, um, mostly because when everyone was pitting there at the end, I only clicked on the strategy that Jeff gave me to make sure that the guys were ready to take me, and I forgot to change from softs to mediums. So that was kind of my fault there, and I kind of figured, I'll come out wherever I do, I'll just score whatever points I can get, and then obviously the safety car came out and kind of saved me there. So um, yeah, it's a bit of a lucky win, I guess, but I mean it will still go down in the record books as a win unless Packer stewards me for 11 seconds of penalties. I don't know.
Yeah. Um, no, great job. Obviously, like you said, that there was a little bit of a blunder on the soft tires, but I think you made them work really well, and you pitted when it was necessary. I was saying you were at this point now where it was like you kind of need to get in there and pit off these tires because it's gonna start hurting your race at that point, and you did it, and then very shortly after you had that safety car that brought you right back up within range of the top guys, and then no one else was going to pit clearly, and the safety car ended after one lap, and you were able to actually use your grip advantage and go and chase these guys. So worked out really well for you at the end there. I'm going to move on to P2. We got Cobalt in the chat, and another great drive for you. It looked like you were potentially on for a race win there, and then that safety car at the end kind of compromised that. Doth put you under a hell of a lot of pressure all night. He had a brilliant drive and then ended up binning it in the wall. It was so unfortunate to see him go out like that, but you gave him one hell of a scrap, and I think he deserved really to be at the front and win the thing. The safety car, obviously, like we said, it helped Maverick out, but he drove clean and was in the right spot at the right time, and that's just how it falls sometimes. But I think you proved that you deserved to be out front tonight. Even when Doth was close to getting by, you were able to sneak back in front or defend it well. So, brilliant drive. How you feeling about that one?
Uh, Honestly, it was a great race. Um, Getting the lead off the start, and then the couple of safety car restarts that we had, being able to get out in front of the car that was leading Puff, and then scavenging and trying to build that gap from Doth. But honestly, it was a pretty good race. Doth pressured me. Unlucky what happened to him. Definitely was deserving of a higher place. I guess I'm just unlucky on the safety car part, but what are you gonna do? Can't really do anything about it. Otherwise, it was a great race. Especially helps my motivation after some real life incidents. I won't go into detail, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice. I mean, that's why we're all here, right? It's a little bit of fun and it's a little bit of an escape from reality. So, like, I absolutely sink myself into this commentary, and then it's like, if once we end the broadcast, I'm just like, oh yeah, like real life. But I totally get where you're coming from there. But yeah, that was one hell of a scrap you guys had, and you did a really good job not taking penalties there. Doth sort of hounding you because he had the penalties, and I think he picked up that third one, and then he started feeling a little desperate and made that mistake. And your defense and the way you drove you were able to. The guy closest to you tonight wasn't able to capitalize on it because you sort of forced him to crumble under the pressure there, and yeah, like we said, we don't want to see him crash. We don't want to see him go out. But ultimately, you got the result you deserved by the way you drove. So, great job and congrats on that.
Especially with this new handling and performance, everything setups have changed. So definitely just quickly threw something together, and I guess it worked.
Yeah, I mean sometimes stability is the way to go if you're dealing with some unknown circumstances, right? But I don't believe our third podium finisher joined the party here, so we're going to wrap things up. We're going to call it a night. Obviously, we're a little bit late because of the delays we had between qualifying and the race. So, great job tonight. Congrats to the podium finishers. Congrats on that win, Maverick. Brilliant stuff, and great drive from you, Cobalt. Shout out to Doth as well. Put in a brilliant drive. It's a real shame he crashed out towards the end there, but sometimes that's just how it goes, you know. The racing instinct takes over, and you just push a little bit too hard, and your night slips away from you like that. And he would have had a nice P2 or 3 there, I think, anyway, without that. But yeah, that's it. Tomorrow night we got the PC tier, and then we got tier 2 Wednesday, tier 3 on Thursday. You can catch it all here 8 p.m. on the YouTube channel Zenith Online Racing. If you're watching this video on demand, appreciate you checking us out. Hit subscribe, you'll get the notifications when we go live. If you've been here watching live, I appreciate you watching the stream. Thanks for being here with me, and we'll catch you next week. I'm not sure what the race is next week, but it's round 6, and we're approaching the halfway point of the season. France next week. All right, perfect. All right, have a good night, guys.